Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the third episode of Vanguard Nightly News. We have here our hosts, Tanner Reese, or Shark Hunters DFS, X Timmy 2 times, and Panda Stampede TV, Jesus Christ. And, of course, VG here coming at you. We're going to get right into this on our Thursday night game, the Eagles versus the Giants. Shark, take it away.
Giants lost 21-22. Daniel Jones, tackled by Manti Te'o's girlfriend on an 80-yard run. Out of nowhere.
That was crazy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, out of nowhere, next thing you know, he's just all by himself, and then next thing you know, Manti Te'o's ex-girlfriend comes out of nowhere and tackles him. Another fascinating thing, this is the second game in a row that Daniel Jones has led the team, as well as the game, in rushing. So,
sad.
What is going
Can I get
on?
a comment from Jenna here?
That's never a good thing.
Now when your quarterback is leading the game in rushings. Unless you're Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah. So,
a win's a win, man.
Carson Wentz had a really good game, 359 yards, 3 touchdowns. Deshaun Jackson, of course, came back to this game and then gets hurt again, so he's out. And I know that he was just placed on IR again. So
yep, dude needs to retire. Straight up. Needs to be gone.
Good half-game return, so that was really nice.
He got to see the field, I guess. He gets his paycheck.
True. Leading the Eagles in receiving yards. Let's see how many of you all know any of these players. Richard Rodgers, Travis Fulgham, and John Hightower. All huge names. Yeah, I would hope you at least know him. He's been doing at least really good the last 2 or 3 weeks. But Richard Rodgers, I think, had his most receiving yards since 2015, I believe. So watch out for him on fantasy, you know?
Yeah, let's check your waiver wires, boys and girls.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's available in 99.9% of your leagues right now.
I'm pretty sure he came out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Well, same with Fulgham, though.
Yeah.
Fulgham, I mean, and the thing is, like, you had Deshaun Jackson out. You have Alshon Jeffrey out, who I think just got.
I think he's returning this week.
IR. Yeah,
he might be returning this week.
Off IR. Also activated this week was Dallas Goedert, was also activated off of the IR. So
good.
He
we
still may miss.
Blocking tight end now.
Should be back. But the thing is, like, everyone else is basically rookies, practice squad. So I mean, you're going to see their names, but
you're not going to know who they are.
Exactly.
Defense did good, though.
Yeah, Eagles defense did show up, had 2 fumbles and an interception, which, congratulations, they're finally showing up. But the thing is, you're playing Daniel Jones. So, there's not much else in this game. I don't know if you have anything, Chase.
No, I mean, it was actually a pretty interesting game. Mind you, no really big rushing yards. Carson Wentz finally showed that he can still play. But again, it's against the Giants.
Well, the thing is, everyone's in the NFL. They made it there because they're at least talented playing football, so you can't really count anyone out against any team. So it's
very true. I don't know. It was a good game. It was a good game for the Eagles. Happy that they got the win over them. So
I believe they are leading the NFC East now. I think.
Yes,
I don't know.
I do think so.
That league is that whole entire division.
That fucking
terrible.
Is a dumpster
terrible
fire,
little smirk from you, Chase. As soon as he said that,
it's a dumpster fire. We don't talk about it.
You're correct.
So moving on to the 1:00 games on Sunday, we had the Lions versus the Falcons. Lions winning 23-22. Raise your hand if you are surprised that the Falcons have choked again.
Oh, you're surprised that they choked?
No. You're surprised?
I'm surprised the Lions won.
So Falcons, of course, choke again. They took the lead with a minute 4 left. Todd Gurley actually tried to fall down at the 1-yard line try to fall down at the 1-yard line to basically milk the clock some more, but the ball and his arm fell onto the white line, so that counts as a touchdown. Matthew Stafford, of course, throws the game-winning touchdown as time expired to T.J. Hawkinson to win the game. So as of the over/under, this game was very low scoring. The defenses were just
meh.
They were stopping them. They were stopping them from scoring like touchdowns and everything. But like, they're still kicking field goals and everything.
Well, the thing is, you look at Matt Ryan. Like, what has he really done the past couple of years?
What has he done this season?
So, you could play a basic ass defense and not do well if Matt Ryan is on your team recently anyway.
So Matt Ryan had 338 yards and 1 touchdown, and then Stafford had 340 with a touchdown. So Stafford's only touchdown was the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, they're both kind of. You're at this point you're trying to balance a scale. Stafford beats out Ryan by 2 yards.
Yes.
They both had a mediocre game.
Exactly. So outside of that, questionable trades. There are rumors going around that Matt Ryan may be traded. Julio Jones may be traded.
I could see Ryan getting traded. I don't think Julio, because
I don't know about
everyone
Julio.
loves him.
Yeah,
everyone loves him.
Oh yeah,
I'm not even a Falcon fan, and I'm like,
I kind of want Julio to retire with the Falcons.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to go out after how long he's been there.
The 2 leading people I see leading the race for Julio right now were the Eagles and Packers. So
Packers don't need him.
Oh, if Packers get him, that's gonna be fucking stupid.
That's a Super Bowl win.
Julio Jones on the other.
Nah, you ain't playing no man. You ain't playing no zone. Good luck keeping up.
Yeah, because you have Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. It's not. Like
it's not Matt Ryan.
Yeah. So moving on to the next
they're gonna
game.
trade for Fulgham too.
Moving on to the next game, you had the Browns versus the Bengals. So
pretty close game actually.
Oh yeah, so who's the better team? Who is the better team in Ohio? And I think this is the second time they played, I believe, and I think the Cleveland Browns won both games. Cleveland won this game 37-34. The big thing probably in this game would be OBJ tearing his ACL. He's going to be out for the year.
That's rough for them.
Oh yeah, so that's going to hurt them a lot. I mean, they're already a run-heavy team,
but that means Jarvis gets more touches. And Jarvis is
will
good.
Get more. I think it's Richard Higgins. No, it's not Richard Higgins. Who is it?
I know Higgins. Last name Higgins. I can't think of who it is though.
Yeah, so it's Higgins. You had Harrison Bryant, who is a rookie from I believe Florida Atlantic, and then Peoples-Jones.
Michigan boy, let's go.
But those were actually the 3 leading receivers for the Browns.
Peoples-Jones.
So actually surprising.
I'm curious on why your parents named you Peoples.
I don't know. Like, that's his full last name, Peoples-Jones. Like, he went to Cass Tech High School, and I would always read about him. He went to high school in Michigan, and they won, like, 4 state champs back to back to back. Their team was fucking ridiculous, and he was a monster.
I would not put Peoples before that. Like, I would just, your name is Jones. We'll leave Peoples in the middle.
Like, he is a monster though. He did pretty well for Michigan, and then seeing him on an NFL team it's good to see him still progressing and doing good.
Oh yeah, so outside of that, both quarterbacks had good games. Baker had 5 touchdowns. Didn't have that many yards, but I mean, touchdowns and touchdowns at the end of the day. Then Joe Burrow, 35 for 47, 406 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that was a good game for
He's
Joe
doing
Burrow.
good for people's fantasies.
Oh yeah.
Yes, very. So he is doing really good. I know that I'm still sitting here thinking Bengals need to go ahead and just get ready for next year. Honestly, they're not winning their games. They just need to get ready.
They're giving Burrow the NFL experience though. So next season when he comes out, he should be coming out slinging.
I agree, and I think that they just need to go ahead, get the O-line and everything, which as of today, they did go ahead and trade Carlos Dunlap for a 7th-round player and I believe another defensive lineman. I think it may have been the tackle.
I think it was a defensive tackle if I'm correct.
But they did at least get another draft pick, so let's see what they can turn that into. But besides that, there's not much else on that game. After that, you had the Steelers versus the Titans. Very close game. Probably they both were undefeated. Steelers rush defense versus Derrick Henry was, of course, the huge thing about this game.
He didn't do bad, though.
Nope. I mean,
Touchdown and
Steelers
75
defense.
yards.
Yeah, for what Steelers defense is, he had a decent game. He had a pretty good game. 20 rushes, 75 yards, and a touchdown, like you said. Steelers' pass defense is still their weakness. A.J. Brown had 6 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown, which with that touchdown being a 73-yard touchdown, helped me out a lot in fantasy. Thank you, A.J. Brown. Big Ben, of course, struggles again. Had 3 interceptions.
Now, going
think
to these
They should've lost this
interceptions,
game, honestly.
Panda and I think, talked about this earlier in the week when I talked to him about the Steelers game. 2 of those interceptions were not needed. One of them was Big Ben tried to go deep when he didn't need to. He could have easily checked it down. And then maybe it was the third one or second one, I'm not sure when all these took place, but it was when he tried to hit Juju in the end zone, and Juju was triple covered.
He tried forcing it.
He tried forcing it, and it just on that, like, that's Ben not kind of reading the defense the way he should. Like, he should have definitely checked down. I know he was trying to go for the win, get the points on the board with the Juju interception, but man, that chuck down the field should not have been an interception. He should have just checked down to running back and then had him get some yards.
I do agree with that. Outside of that, Juju and Deontay Johnson both had good games. Juju and Deontay actually both had 9 catches, 80 yards each. I think Deontay Johnson had like 83, I believe. 2 great games by both of them. Surprise, surprise, Deontay Johnson got hurt again. That's really about it. He has good games. He gets hurt. Exactly. I have him on fantasy, and when I do play him, he gets hurt. When I don't play him, he goes off. Like
What we talked about before.
there is no in between with him. I don't like it. Also, with the 1:00 games, we had the Panthers versus the Saints. Bridgewater going back against the New Orleans Saints. 24-27, Saints winning. Bridgewater had 23 for 28, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, in my opinion, like, it's not eye-popping, but, like, it's being consistent. It's not turning the ball over.
I want to go back. Sorry. I know we just moved on, but I want to go back to that Steelers-Titans game. Do you think Gostkowski needs to go? Because he missed that game winning or tying field goal.
Oh, yeah, I didn't forget about that. Yeah, so it was the game tying field goal that sent it to overtime. Yeah. This is his 5th
missed field goal this season.
Yes, I believe it's 5 I think it's 5 field goals and like 1 or 2 extra points. Like, it's going back from, I believe last year when he actually got cut by the Patriots. Like, it's just, I don't know what happened to him, but he's not as consistent as he was.
No, I remember he used to be the go-to player in fantasy, him and Mason Crosby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, both of them. And then a couple years ago, even Matt Prater. No matter where you put Matt Prater on a field, he was going to hit it.
But
from 50, 60 yards.
You think it's the team, or do you think it's just Gostkowski getting older?
I think it's Gostkowski just getting old. He's been in the league for...
But Janikowski, being however old he is, Seabass, he was still doing good when he was old, and Vinatieri, dude. I don't know if you can go off of age. I think it's just the setting that he's in. I don't think he likes it.
Let's see, if you say that, then why did he not stay with the Patriots then?
True.
That's my thing. He started struggling in the Patriots. They went ahead and cut him. They got a new kicker. He goes to Tennessee, starts struggling there as well. So normally you'll see these older players go to teams that have domes. Like you saw
Vinatieri
go to Indianapolis for 4 or 5 years in a dome. There's no air. There's no wind. So
it's nothing to fuck up your kick.
Yep, it's all on you at that point.
Well, Gostkowski needs to look at the Dallas Cowboys then.
So going back to the Panthers versus the Saints, again, Bridgewater had a good game, not turning the ball over or anything. Michael Thomas for the Saints came up with a hammy.
Dude can't stay healthy this year.
I just don't think he wants to play.
I don't think he does either.
Him and Emmanuel Sanders were both out. I believe Emmanuel Sanders was out for COVID, I believe. I may be wrong about that one, but
I don't know about that one. I didn't hear anything about Emmanuel Sanders.
I know he was out, but
that's about it.
Receiver for the Saints, Marquez Callaway. I know all of you all have them on your fantasy team, so good job for doing that, because I sure didn't. I don't know who he is.
I was gonna say, like, I have no idea who the hell you're talking about. I've never heard of this man. Do I need to pick him up?
No. So going ahead, Bills versus the Jets. Big surprise, Jets go up 10-0. Then Bills come back, score 18 unanswered, win the game. I mean, there's not much on this game at all. Josh Allen went 30 for 43 for 307. Surprise, surprise, he leads the team in rushing again. 61 yards.
A majority of teams have to focus on other people, though. You got Stephon Diggs outside, John Brown, Cole Beasley, who made an insane turnaround on an outside catch, which broke that cornerback's ankles, and I laughed really hard at that.
Once a Cowboy, by the way.
He was once a Cowboy. Cole Beasley.
Also,
go ahead.
I was going to say before we get to that, the Bills let up 190 yards in the first half, which I thought was crazy, and they only let up 29 yards in the second, which I'm like, well, that's the defense everyone was used to seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Like 4 years in a row, your top 5 defense. That the second half right there, it was like you guys were like, fuck this. Sam Darnold's back after 4 weeks of being gone. We need to remind him why they're at the bottom of the division.
Also, why you seeing ghosts?
And had a shutout.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Cole Beasley. I know John Brown. I believe John Brown was out for this game.
God, I hope I didn't start him. I feel like I did.
He was inactive.
I think he was inactive for this week, which kind of goes back to last week with him not getting any catches. I don't know if he was fully healthy.
No, he got pulled out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, so he did sit out, or he did come out last week, of course, but he sat out this week. Cole Beasley having a huge game, 11 catches, 112 yards. I don't have much else on
I do have
this game, but I know you are, so.
Well, it's not about the game specifically. It's more about defensive pickups. Because the Panthers released Eli Apple. And also, I just recently saw this, Daryl Worley from the Cowboys was just released as well.
Yes.
Today. So I'm like, Buffalo should get a corner to go opposite of Trey, have Wallace take slot. That way their defense can at least have some extra strength, because their cornerbacks, linebackers, and defensive tackles have all been riddled with COVID and injuries. Yep. They need to do something there to try to help out.
Now, Buffalo is more of a man coverage, right? More than zone on defense.
They've been switching it up.
Because I think, if I'm correct, Eli Apple is more comfortable in man coverage, because I feel like that's what the Giants played. So I think that if Eli does go to the Bills, he would be a perfect fit in your guys' scheme.
It could work out. Also, Dontari Poe was also released today.
I did see that, yep. People are saying the Bills should pick him up.
He could go there. Buffalo needs more D tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to the next game, we had the Cowboys against the Washington football team. Final score was 3-25.
Take a deep breath, Timmy. Take a deep breath.
Don't rip your Dak jersey off the wall.
You're muted, by the way.
No, he's just being very quiet.
No, he said hold on, but his mic was muted. I was going to say don't take them off your wall, but
he's actually putting them in the garbage.
I really hope you have nothing in there that's saucy to get on those jerseys.
Those are expensive jerseys.
We'll find out.
You feel better?
No, that's where they belong.
You feel better?
Andy Dalton just had a lousy game, and
he got a concussion.
Yeah, well, that too.
He got hit pretty hard.
The boy got a big ass headache right now.
Real talk though, Timmy. Do you think they need to trade for a quarterback?
Oh no, I'm hoping we tank. Please tank.
You don't think they should trade for a quarterback? That way they don't have the third string in there.
No.
Bend over?
You don't think them trading for Ryan Fitzpatrick would still be better than Andy Dalton?
Yes.
I think they should though. I think they should go for the Fitzpatrick trade.
I'm willing to accept the Philadelphia Eagles fucking the Dallas Cowboys so far up the ass this year.
Oh boy, I can't wait for that to not come true, and then we tie.
They play this week, don't they?
Well, I mean, and Zeke still has fumble issues, and I don't know what his problem is. and it's just really bad. And then Gallup and Lamb, they had 0 catches, and Scary Terry was on fire too as well. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Dallas defense is in trouble when you allow 20 plus points to the worst offense in the league.
25-3, I think the score was, correct?
Yeah, 25-3, yeah. And then just our defense is just god awful. And then Jerry Jones is having a hissy fit on 105 The Fan. He did.
I did not hear about that.
I didn't hear about that either.
No, he actually told somebody, "Can you shut up and let me answer the effing question?"
Oh boy.
Hey, I'm just saying, you got that kind of money. You tell people what to do.
I mean,
yeah. So, but I will say this though: the Cowboy season's over. Like, it's completely.
Yeah, I don't see it being.
I don't see it being anything spectacular. You know, you might get a Dallas miracle here and there, but.
Hey Chase, I want to go ahead and congratulate you for the.
Oh, thanks, man, thanks.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is how Patriots fans are feeling about Phillips.
That's going to be an interesting game. I can't wait to talk about that one. But,
next week.
I mean, Timmy basically covered Cowboys, Washington. Nothing spectacular. Cowboys got their booty cheeks clapped by the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton out with a concussion. Can the third-string quarterback pull off a miracle and maybe get a win or two?
But I'm okay with 2-14. Sounds good. Don't win another game for the rest of the
year. You guys can't outdo the Jets right now, by what I can tell.
Well, I mean,
you might get second.
I'd be okay. I'd be okay with the second overall pick. I'd be okay with that.
Oh, speaking of Trevor Lawrence, did you guys see his reaction to the Jets getting first?
Yeah, he said he doesn't know what he's gonna do in the future.
Yeah, well, he stated this, which he actually had to re-comment on this.
Yep.
He's like, I'm not going out this year to be picked up by the fucking Jets.
Yeah, that's exactly what
he said. I want my team to be winning, and they wouldn't win.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm just saying, you get a kid who isn't even in the NFL yet, who's like, you got first pick? Hell no, I'll rather go 3 or 4. I'll take the cut in money.
Yeah.
Ever heard of a player denying when he gets drafted? Like, no, skip. Go to the next one.
Well, they always say, do you want to be this part of this team? Nope.
Wow.
I'd record the whole thing on Snap too, post it on the story.
That's literally Eli Manning. Whenever he got drafted by the Chargers, he said he didn't want to go there, and he wasn't signing a contract or anything, and they traded him to the Giants. So they swapped him and Philip Rivers. So that's how that happened years ago.
Moving on.
See that again.
Then Eli gets Super Bowls, and
Philip Rivers has 18 kids.
Yes.
That is true.
Crazy.
Packers versus
you better
Texans.
Got a pay increase going over there.
Oh yeah.
I got another. Need more for support.
So, like Chase said, we have Packers versus Texans next. Packers winning 35-20. No Aaron Jones, no problem for the Packers. Jamal Williams, 100 total yards and a touchdown. Devontae Adams, 13 catches, 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. You would think that he had the best week for receivers. Just wait till later. So, he had a great game. Don't get me wrong, but he did not have the best receiving week. After that, Texans struggle. Watson did have 309 and 2 touchdowns. And Randall Cobb led the team with 8 catches, 95 yards. There's not much else with this.
I would like to shit talk Aaron Rodgers for not getting 600 yards and 9 touchdowns.
You're doing this for Aeolus, aren't you?
I feel like he could have.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have him have 10 touchdowns, but you know.
Also, I know this was breaking news as of today. The Texans are on bye this week, but they did have to shut down their facility because of COVID. Player got it. They didn't release the name or anything, but they are on bye week, so it shouldn't affect the schedule or anything. But here we are again with COVID. So
Now, thinking future-wise, you think J.J. Watt's going to stick with him much longer?
He is actually on the trade block.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought I heard.
Let's go Buffalo.
No, let's go Steelers. I want to see him on the Steelers with TJ.
I don't want to see him on that team with him because then it's just going to be like, fuck you.
That would be the best run defense in the world.
That's until JJ tears his ACL or rips his shoulder.
Again.
Oh, yeah.
Like the 5th time.
Sorry, guys. I got to go to the doctors.
Texans struggled a bit with Watson getting 309 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cobb had 8 catches for 95 yards, which Cobb going against his former team didn't do that bad.
Yep. Had a great game.
He had a good game.
So moving on to the next, I believe that was 4:15. I believe this one was 2. But the Bucks versus the Raiders. We were trying to figure out like which Bucks team are we really going to see? Are we going to see the ones from last week? Or are we going to see the ones from week 1 and 2? Which Raiders team are we going to see? Are we going to see the
that was
Raiders versus the Chiefs game?
Their defense has played solid through a majority of their games, and I'm like, I don't see Brady putting up the numbers he did last week. So I'm like, I might pull him out in fantasy. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So I pulled him out, and then he goes off.
Brady finally has
400
a good game.
yards and 5 touchdowns. It's like, are you kidding me?
Brady looks like he's comfortable again.
Brady looks like the old Brady in New England. Do whatever he wants. 33 for 45, 369 yards, and 5 total touchdowns. He had a very nice throw to Scotty Miller in the back of the end zone. I was actually watching that game. I mean, there was nowhere else he could have thrown this ball.
Yeah, it's your team.
You got to be watching that game. Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. But I'm still not convinced that they are a Super Bowl team yet. It's just the defense.
Give it a year.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's really just going to depend on how their defense plays throughout the rest of the year. Because, like I said, if they continue to play as well as they have the past 2 games or 3 games, I'm not sure how far back it's been, but if they continue to play like that, then they're definitely a Super Bowl contender.
And that's the thing is, like, if you think like the last couple of years, there hasn't, like, the Super Bowl winning teams haven't really been like, oh, we're a defensive team.
Yeah.
Chiefs last year, no, they're just going to outscore you.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a chance. Don't get me wrong, but coming from a Bucks fan, I just don't see it happening this year.
Nope. Give it a year.
It's also going to depend on how the Antonio Brown thing goes too.
That's what I just was about to get into.
So Antonio Brown being there, like,
finally got signed to a team.
It interests me, but the thing is, without Godwin, yes, Godwin's been getting hurt, which he actually got hurt again, has a broken index finger.
He'll be out for a week.
Yep.
Yes, he will be out at least for a week. He had surgery on it. Should be back. But my thing is, with everything that he's been through so far, is he going to gel with the team? Is he going to accept that he is not a number 1 anymore in the NFL? And that's why I don't know if he's going to be like, okay, I understand I'm not the number 1. I'm not going to get all these targets. That's why I don't know. Yeah, and that's the thing is I just don't know if it's a good pick. Now, my only thing with it that I do like is Bruce Arenas, the GM and everything, wouldn't sit there and just go sign him just to sign him.
Yeah.
100% guaranteed. They talked to Tom Brady and they're like, do you actually think that he will work out? And they would not have signed him unless Tom Brady said he liked him. So there's something there, but until I see it work out, I don't believe it.
And just kind of looking
for Des Bryant
back, kind of looking back, when Brown was on the Raiders and all the issue he caused in the locker room, like he kind of gotta worry. Like, okay, he's been out of the league a year?
Yes.
2?
That
wasn't even just with the Raiders though.
No,
he went to the Raiders, got in trouble because he had the what was it?
I think it was domestic violence thing.
Well, it was actually before that. He had he was in the cryo chamber and basically froze his foot.
Oh yeah, frozen foot thing.
And so they had that issue, and then he came back. Then he had the issue with the NFL charging all the new helmets and everything, and he was trying to get grievance to wear his old helmet. He wouldn't do it. And then he said, I'm holding out until I can wear my old helmet and everything. So, and then there was rumors that he was in this domestic violence stuff, so the Raiders cut him. Patriots signed him. He got in trouble with domestic violence again, as well as
locker room disagreements.
He started talking to the person that was accusing him of threatening her. And then they're like, okay, we can't allow that. That's showing stupidity on your part, and we can't have stupidity on the team.
Bill Belichick does not come up.
And then they're like, by the way, we're going to get rid of Brady now, since we don't like stupidity.
But I guess we got to see. Maybe it's a different Antonio Brown than what we're used to. Maybe it'll go back to the days where him and Big Ben actually got along and stuff. So,
agreed.
I don't know.
So, going back to the game, Brady spread the ball out. Scotty Miller had a touchdown. Gronk had another touchdown. So this is 2 weeks in a row with Gronk having a touchdown. You may want to start watching him a little bit. Nice drop there, Chase. Godwin with a touchdown as well as Tyler Johnson, and then a fifth touchdown came from a run.
Can't hold on to the ball.
And then the fifth touchdown was Brady running it in. On the Raiders side, Josh Jacobs only had 10 rushes. I don't really understand. Like, there hasn't been anything released about injury.
I think he's got something going on in his leg.
You don't just not run your best player. Like, you don't do it. Like, I understand you're behind and everything, and I hope that's what it was. Coming off a bye week. I'm hoping that it was just, hey, we're behind by 25. We're just not going to run the ball. I'm going to hope that's the reason.
The thing is with Gruden, though, he's not the type to do that.
Nope. And that's what scares me.
Yeah, like, as a coach, Gruden would not say, nope, we're not going to run the ball. We're just going to try to air it out, because he knows that's not going to work.
Yep.
But, I don't know. He might have an injury, but...
Yeah, so I'm hoping not, fantasy-wise, of course, but let's hope not. So, Chiefs versus the Broncos. Chiefs won 43-16. You would think that Mahomes just had a huge game. Nope. He had an okay game, but defense and special teams actually had more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes. And then they just ran the ball. So, from that point on, leading receivers from both teams, Mecole Hardman had 2 catches. Led the team in yards and everything. 2 catches, 57 yards. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the second, third string tight end for the Broncos. I always butcher it. It's like Albert Okwuegbunam. I can't. I don't know. Like there's no point. It's like Okubngunam or something like that.
I love how that's on the thing too. Like
want to guess how to pronounce it?
Oh yeah, on the notes I said, anyone want to give it a guess? Like you can look it up, Chase, if you want to. Timmy,
I kind of want to look this up.
Go ahead.
I feel
I'll
like
let you.
It's not
I
gonna...
will give you the chance to pronounce it because I have. Put up. Yeah, you'll find it. You put O and you'll find
I see it.
Go ahead.
Okwuegbunam.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, that's basically it for the game. I mean, there wasn't much else in this game.
How to pronounce his last name? Hold on.
You're gonna look it up.
How to pronounce?
So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. 49ers versus the Patriots.
Got it. Pronounced Okwuegbunam. Okwuegbunam.
I guarantee you I will forget that. All right, so moving on. It'll come back next week. He'll have like 5 touchdowns, and I'll just tell you to pronounce it. I promise
Okwuegbunam.
Yeah,
it's time to do that game.
Yeah. So next game we had 49ers versus the Pats. 49ers 33-6 over the Pats. Jimmy G goes back, gets the win against Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
I called him over. I was just petting him.
He's talking to Leo.
Oh, I was like, what? The big guy in this game was Jeff Wilson running the ball. Of course, backup.
I called him over. I was just petting him.
So
hey, you called over Jimmy G.
Yeah. Jeff Wilson had 17 carries, 112 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I had to let him know that he could play well against his old team.
Pat, good job, buddy. I'm proud.
Jeff Wilson, of course, had this huge game, gets hurt. So there's, again, injury prone on that team. Rookie Brandon Ayuk having a huge game. Again, leading the team in receivings. I
would like to say something about this.
Okay.
I was expecting Cam Newton to go off in this game with how
too.
terrible they did last week.
Yeah.
And on the press
Cam Newton has like a decent team around him. Like you got N'Keal Harry, like you still got Julian Edelman.
Yep.
Your offensive line is all right compared to other teams. You should be able to do something. And then he's like, by the way, I will hold all of your dicks. Go ahead.
3 interceptions, only 98 yards, 9 for 15. Yeah. And all he had to say was after the press conference, because I watched this on SportsCenter, his post-game press conference, all he had to say was, it's on me. I just need to be a better quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, no shit. You're throwing 98 yards and 3 interceptions, 9 for 15. That is
like if you would have seen those incompletions too, they were terrible throws.
Like
terrible throws.
Yes.
But this is the Cam that we saw in the Super Bowl damn near against the Broncos.
No, because I'm pretty sure he would still dive for the ball now because he wants to keep his job. But in the Super Bowl, if he would have dove for that ball, who knows what would have happened?
I don't think that. I don't know. I don't know how Cam's going to play the rest of the season, but it's not looking good. Belichick might bench him, although Belichick does say Cam is still my guy. When he asked about if Cam was still your starter, yeah, he's still my starter. But Cam knows that no matter what, if he doesn't get his shit together, he's done.
Watch the Pats trade for Fitzpatrick.
Fuck it, dude. Like, at that point, anything's better than 98 yards, 3 interceptions.
I'm just saying, then he could have the crown for the division. He got all 4 teams, man. All 4.
Oh, yeah. So, can we? I mean, it's at this point with the Patriots playing bad. Can we say that Bill needs Brady?
I mean,
in your all's opinion,
yeah.
We've seen how Brady played the last 2 weeks.
I wouldn't say that they need him. I'd say that the defense is not playing as well as they should have.
But also with them having all the COVID players and everything.
That's what I was about to get to. Yeah.
So
you get key defensive personnel that have to pull out because of COVID, where they don't want to have their family get COVID.
Yep.
That's going to completely ruin that defense. So you're not going to be playing nearly as well, even if there's just one person gone, because that takes away from one of the key systems.
Plus, when your quarterback gets 3 interceptions, your defense does not play well because they don't get a break. They have to constantly go back out there. It's like, oh, yeah, we got to stop you, Cam. Let's see it. Interception. Well, fuck.
That's why time of possession is so important in the game, too.
Yeah,
because at that point, your defense is just getting wore out. Like, they don't want to go back out there. Like, shit, they already did their jobs. You're not doing your job, so now they have to pick up your shit.
I was really surprised on how much the 49ers dominated the Pats.
So was I.
I thought they could win, but I was like, I don't think it'll be by that much. Like, I thought Cam Newton would at least keep him somewhat in the game. And then after what we saw, I'm like, I don't even know if I don't know where to put the 49ers in my rankings after that game. Because I'm like, I don't know if you're going to be that good the rest of the year, if you're going to be, like, playing
Jimmy G's finally looking like
the Dolphins,
himself,
right?
Though.
The Dolphins when they lost, like, 30 points, or by, like, 30 points, right? Yeah, like, I'm like, I don't know what one, because it's just like you're playing up and down against this division. At the start of the season, I was like, I don't know if I want Buffalo to play you guys. Like, you guys played pretty well, and then it's like, oh, well, now it's really just going to depend on if Jimmy G throws 4 interceptions or decides he wants to sit out.
Yeah. It's which one are you going to get?
I don't know.
And we don't know.
At this point, I don't know.
So, moving on to the last 4:15 game on Sunday, we had the Jags versus the Chargers. There's not much on this game at all, but the rookies were showing off in this game. Robinson, for the Jags running back, had 22 carries, 119 yards, and a touchdown. He's had a really good season so far. If you have him on your team, congratulations. I did not believe in him. Still don't believe in him fully, but he is having a monster year.
I think I actually have him on fantasy. I think I got him in a trade for Derrick Henry.
If you do, then you should be starting him almost every single.
I don't know why you got rid of Derrick Henry, to be honest.
Because I'm 0-5.
Yeah, but
0-6 now.
You gotta make changes. But yeah. As for the Chargers rookie, Justin Herbert, 416 yards and 4 total touchdowns. So
he's popping off recently.
Yep. They're actually
he got in.
Yes.
He's played pretty solid.
Pretty good.
Having a really good game. Going into Sunday night's game, probably I would say the best game of the week.
I thought this was the best game of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would agree. So Seattle versus Arizona went to overtime. Arizona getting the win, 37-34. Offense, of course, rules the game. Russell Wilson, 422 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kyler Murray, 427 yards, 4 total touchdowns. Lockett, 15 catches, 200 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Lockett had himself a fucking day.
My fantasy, you're at least hitting 50.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. If you got Lockett, because I know some people keep Lockett on the waiver wires because it's a hit or miss with Lockett every week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you had him on fantasy, fucking give yourself a pat on the back. This was a fantastic game by Lockett.
Especially if you threw him in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. DeAndre Hopkins, 10 catches, 103 yards, and another touchdown. And then Chase Edmonds, 7 catches and 145 total yards. If you had told me that Russell Wilson had 3 interceptions this game, I would have been completely surprised. Now, I knew that he had 1 interception to Budda Baker, who returned it almost about 90 yards and then gets chased down by DK Metcalf.
From about a 10-yard difference, too, because he had to cut that.
You also have to realize that, remember back in the Combine when everyone was thinking, like, oh, he's not that fast. Yeah, this clearly shows.
I wanted Buffalo to get DK Metcalf as soon as I saw him.
Dude is a fucking beast.
I saw him.
Put that boy in safety, see what he does.
I mean,
you see the way he runs? That's better than most linebackers nowadays.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, he's just like Derrick Henry, in my opinion. Like, there's no one this big that should be able to run this fast.
Yeah.
This is a Mack truck going downhill, coming at you.
I watched.
And his hands are crazy.
I watched Mic'd Up. Like, there was a little snippet of Mic'd Up from that game. Budda Baker mic'd up, and it was on Twitter. Budda goes, how the fuck did he catch me?
And the thing is, Budda Baker's fast.
Exactly. He's like, this fucker's fast.
Yeah, it is crazy. Outside of that, the big things about this game, Chris Carson gets hurt in the game. Most likely will be out for a week or 2. Kenyon Drake has a, I believe, high ankle injury. I believe it was ankle. It was either
those
ankle
are both
or knee.
Big injuries for those teams.
Budda Baker ran a 4.45 in the Combine.
There you go. 4.45, and he got chased down.
10-yard difference.
Yes.
And also, Budda had a straight shot. DK came from angle.
That's why I'm saying a 10-yard difference, because he has to cut that over and catch up.
It's
my
ridiculous.
God.
Russell Wilson gave up on that play, too, which
and the thing is, Budda Baker's running in stride when he gets the interception.
Yep.
And DK Metcalf is running a slant route.
Yep.
So he's running to that side, and then he has to turn around, basically, and head straight to him.
Yep.
So it is crazy how athletic.
He's a freak of nature.
Yes.
It's literally just insane.
Then we had the Bears versus the Rams game. Rams getting the win. This was completely a snore fest. There's not much in this game at all. Nick Foles struggles again. Trubisky. Is it Trubisky time again? I mean,
no.
This is probably the worst. I think 5-1 team. 5-2. Whatever they are.
I hate to say it. Trubisky needs to get out of Chicago. I think Foles needs to take over the team. But Foles just had a shit game. Rams has a great defense, mind you. But this isn't the Foles that we saw from last week. I don't know. Yeah. I think Trubisky needs to... I think they need to trade Trubisky for something. Maybe send him over to the Dallas Cowboys. How would you like that, Timmy?
Well,
I don't know.
the game itself wasn't really that great of a game. I just
nothing major happened in it.
I'm when you guys were sitting here talking about it, I was literally looking up the distance between Buddha and Metcalf.
Ben is like, oh wait, we're talking about a different game now.
No,
Shit.
I knew what we were talking about. It's just the game didn't really interest me as much. They said he was 10.89 yards away.
All right, so 11 yards away.
Essentially, yeah. He ran a 4.33 at the combine, but right there it looked like he was running a 4.24.
Oh yeah, no shit. And then some off seasons, or not off season, but
with pads and stuff on too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like it's not weighted down during the 40. He's definitely weighted down during this situation. This motherfucker is hauling ass to catch someone who is fast as shit.
I was watching his strides too, and it was like he was like not like they were long strides. They weren't like no. He was like doom.
Yeah, it legit says Baker, but catching up to Baker the entire time was Metcalf, who passed Wilson in a dead sprint at the Seattle 40 after being 10.89 yards away from Baker at the time.
It's ridiculous.
That is crazy.
That's called don't give up.
Like, literally, a lineman would be able to make it down the field, a majority of the field, before someone would be able to catch them. Mm-hmm. But you get Metcalf, who is catching someone who is fast as shit. Like, the 40 time isn't a huge difference between the two.
Yeah.
But it's still those little bit of seconds that can, like, be like, hey, this person's faster.
Mm-hmm. But...
A 4.45 compared to a 4.33.
I guess some bye week news that happened. Ravens picked up Des Bryant, signed him to the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
So
is he gonna make the active roster?
He'll move up.
He'll move up. They will put him on a team. What he will do is the question that I cannot.
Is he gonna
answer.
get injured again in the first game he plays?
No.
I don't think he'll be injured. No, I think when he gets in there, it's either going to be like he plays really well or he doesn't play that well, and then they're going to end up cutting him if he doesn't play that well. Because they're like, this was like a prove it thing. You're not playing that well. We don't need to have you on the team. We'll sign someone else and give them the money.
This is his last shot at being on a team.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I feel like he has the talent to at least play somewhere, and other teams need wide receivers.
Now, what would be the reaction if he went to the Eagles?
You tell us.
I don't know. I mean, coming from someone who's a Cowboys fan, Timmy, what would you say if not Dallas, but if Dez came to the Eagles?
The real question is, does he play well?
Does he play well?
I mean, well, he's with the Ravens now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I think he'll do fine there.
I think he'll do good. I think that scheme's going to fit him pretty well. I think he might make a home out of Baltimore, but I don't know.
We'll find out.
That's about it for the NFL week. I mean, the only good game was the Seattle and Arizona game.
That was the only tense game that people were like, "Oh, I wonder who's going to win this," because both teams have been playing solid.
Yes,
and now Steelers are the only undefeated team left in this season.
Yes,
and
they are.
They are fucking stacked on defense.
They deserve that undefeated title.
Their defense, the rush and linebackers are the best thing. Pass defense is their weakness. My issue is if they run into a pass-happy team, what is going to happen? I would love to see them up against the... hell, with how they've been playing lately, I would love to see how they look against the Buccaneers, the Packers.
I want to see the Packers.
What it looks like. So,
but moving on, after the NFL whole session, we got some games. We got some new news on some new games coming out.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Third delay.
I'm so pissed about 10th. That. I'm so pissed.
It's at least it's not like until we get some more information for you guys. Like they said 21 days, so December 10th. At least it's coming out this year.
Basically, why they're doing this is they want to make sure that everyone gets the same enjoyable experience, no matter what console you're on. If you're on PS4, if you're on PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, or even PC. Shit. They want to make sure that this game is good. I also think that they delayed it, so then they don't get overshadowed by COD.
There is the possibility.
Because they don't want...
But everyone wanted Cyberpunk 2077 to come out, and because like everyone was like, "Yo, it's got Keanu Reeves in it," and the majority of the kids nowadays only know him for John Wick, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, great movies, I love them. I remember him in fucking Matrix.
Oh yeah,
and some kids have no clue what the fuck
I remember him from Fortnite.
And in all actuality, they are also doing a new Matrix, by the way, if you guys didn't hear about that.
Ooh.
I was actually very surprised to hear about that, because I'm like, John Wick's getting old, man.
Destiny 2 Beyond Light. It's coming out here soon. I don't know if anyone's Destiny fans, but that's coming out relatively soon. Kind of around the same time COD is.
Yeah, we both know I'm not a Destiny fan.
Yeah, no. But I was talking about this. Bungie, literally, like, they're not worried about being overshadowed by COD. They know that they have their fan base. So
a huge fan base.
Bungie has a very big fan base. The Destiny community is amazing. I used to be a part of it. I don't play Destiny anymore. Kind of dropped out of it.
I was actually shocked when they split up with, I think it was Activision.
Yep. No, 343. 343 and Bungie.
I thought Activision was a part of that, and then they split up, and they didn't know how the direction was going to go for it.
Wait, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking of something different.
Because they were like, Destiny 2, we're not sure how this is working out, because like they're not getting enough players. And then as soon as the split happened, they got another company on board. They're like, we're going to release some shit, and people are going to be happy about it.
Which, they're doing a great job at Destiny 2. I think that they're constantly pouring out content for people to play.
As soon as they made it free to play, people were on board immediately.
Because, I mean, make DLC, pay for, make the game free to play. That's how I see it. Like,
I would much rather it be cosmetic stuff instead of pay to win.
Exactly. What's awesome about Destiny is that you have to grind for the good shit. Nothing is given to you, like, handed out to you. You have to either complete a raid, do exotic quests, this, and that. I've actually thought about getting back into Destiny 2. I don't know if I'm going to or not, but I don't know. If you do,
I'll probably end up getting it and then getting annoyed by it.
Oh, yeah, trust me. Destiny 2 is just full-on annoyance, but anyways.
It's
Outlast Trials.
Outlast Trials, another game here. Shark is still very irritated about this game because he doesn't have a PC.
Time to go buy one.
They did confirm that it was 1, 2, 4 players when it was just a guess for us. It is actually taking place during Cold War times, which is actually interesting to me.
A lot of Cold War era games coming out.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, the way that I really hope they go with the same style as Outlast 1 and 2. They just make it co-op, obviously, because it's the idea for this game. But if they switch it up and make it terrible, like they're trying to do too much, it could just ruin the entire series right there at that point.
A game that kind of came out of nowhere, though, for you and me especially, since we were taking a look at it yesterday, Hytale. Yeah,
it's an upgraded Minecraft, and I actually went on their website and I applied for the open beta there. I'm
gonna have to do that today.
It's really interesting. It's not like Minecraft where you have to go to a table, and then all the
crafting recipes are there if you have the stuff. You have to actually go out and find different recipes for different swords, different mage weapons. There's actually casting spells and shit in this game. It is dope.
Yeah, the stuff that you find is actually based off of exploration, which I think is really cool, instead of having it all be there and you just have to go and find the material.
It is better optimized, especially for PC players. I know how Minecraft has had frame drops and stuff for those that are playing on maybe not the highest quality, or as someone said in the video that we were watching, 1,000-pound computer.
I mean, I suppose it would depend on what you're running for your texture packs, if you have mods and stuff in there, and how everything's going to look for you there. Yeah, base but I don't know if he said base.
He did.
I wasn't paying attention
because
to that.
People would get Optifine, which would make it better for optimization.
They also have an anti-cheat on there, so people can't just like hack shit.
Which that's an interesting feature.
It's good because they're doing better than Call of Duty at this point already. Which, if you guys didn't know, their cheat function is to ban the email address instead of banning the IP on COD. So people are able to make new accounts. Yeah, they're able to make new accounts and then just cheat again.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
see the
even
face.
know
You see
anymore.
the face for Chase right there. He was actually in shock.
I didn't hear that. That's why I'm like, I am genuinely. That is the dumbest thing in the world to me.
I was watching a Tim the Tatman video, to where he's like playing with a cheater and he was asking him a question. And I was just listening to the questions, and he goes, "Have you been banned already?" And he nodded. He goes, "Account ban?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "What do they do? Just ban your email?" He's like, "Yeah." Like he nodded up and down, and then he's like, "They don't ban your IP?" And he goes, "No." He's like, "How many times have you been banned?" And he put 7, like 7 shots in the wall. He's like, "That's just crazy that they won't ban the IP. They just ban the email address associated with the account."
Speaking of Tim the Tatman, though, kind of getting a little off topic. Twitch is handing out their second wave of DMCA strikes. Tim just recently deleted 8 years of VODs off his Twitch channel.
I saw that. Yeah.
It was a very sad day for Tim. I sympathize.
Sympathize.
Yeah, what Panda said. I can't speak. I sympathize with Tim. I can't fucking talk. I do whatever with Tim. I feel bad for Tim.
Start the podcast over.
I know, right? I feel bad for Tim because that's 8 years of content. I know when I played copyrighted music, when I used to play regular songs and shit, I went back, I deleted all my VODs and clips and stuff, and it's like, that sucks. Like, that seriously sucks. I know that I'm a smaller streamer, so, but having to go and delete old VODs and clips to see kind of how you've grown really hurts for some content creators.
But
just watch what you're playing on Twitch.
Back to the game. Hytale was also recently purchased from Riot Games, the people who created Valorant. And they are trying to hard push this right now.
Now, do we know if it's going to be free to play or not?
I'm not sure.
I don't think any details like that have been released.
My guess is that it might be, and they might just pay for like cosmetic stuff. I know that the character customization is a lot more in depth than Minecraft is.
I know there's also realms and servers and shit that you can have.
Yeah, that's correct. There is a shit ton of realms.
We'll have to wait and see with more to come on this game. Panda might give us an in-depth review when he gets his key.
If I get a key, I'll probably actually end up streaming it.
Another game that Panda and I are kind of both disappointed in hearing this is Gotham Knights is only 1 to 2 players.
Yeah, I actually think I talked to Shark about this before, thinking it was going to be 4-player.
Yeah, yes. I think we talked about that last podcast, actually.
And I'm like, it really sucks because they did introduce 4 different characters in the trailer. So you figure, oh, cool, I'll be able to play with my friends because they're like, it's going to be co-op. So we're like, most likely 1 to 4 players. But instead, it's like 1 to 2. It's like, hold the fuck up. Excuse you?
I guess maybe if it's more story-based driven.
I don't think that should matter, though, because if it's more story-based driven, then it should actually progress the same, even if you would have 4 people.
Kind of like Borderlands does. Like, if you got people joining that are... Say you're a lower level and your friend's a higher level. Borderlands 3 actually does a phenomenal job on this. If you're a higher level and your friend's a lower level, you join your friend... your enemies will be your level and his enemies will be his level, and you guys will do relatively the same amount of damage to the enemy, so it doesn't seem like you're running them through it and them not having to do anything.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that if you a higher level or you a lower level join your higher level friend's game and you do if you do missions and shit and you go back to your game, you don't have to redo those missions. You can skip the mission if you already did it because you're not going to get the XP and stuff again. So, I don't know. There are ways to work around it if that's the issue. If it's like, oh, we want you to be more story-based, single-player game, but you can have 1 friend. There are ways to work around it.
Well, I feel like it should be 4 players, though. You are introducing 4 characters. Also, Suicide Squad is essentially doing like roughly the same thing. They introduced 4 characters. However, they are doing 4-player co-op. The thing is, with that, they're like, okay, the people who are in the Justice League are going rogue, they're turning evil, so now we need to kill them to get them out. Which I'm like, that is a dope concept, switching up who is evil, or switching up, like, the view, because good and evil is all based on your concept of the fucking story of everything. Like, it's like, yeah, but the thing is, there's no good or evil, it's all how you picture it, you know? Like if Shark were to punch me in the face because I called him a bitch, you guys didn't know that I called him a bitch, right? You're gonna be like, wow, Shark's a dick. But in all actuality, I'm the one who fucking started the shit by calling him a bitch.
Yeah, Shark. God, why you gotta call Panda a bitch?
Like, it's all based on your view.
Shark's playing Dead by Daylight.
It's all based on you. It's all based on your view.
Dead by Daylight.
Sea of Thieves. But there's also another game, Hood Outlaws and Legends.
This one I didn't know about, so this is an interesting concept to me.
Well, it's two teams of 4 compete to execute the perfect heist in environmentally patrolled and deadly AI guards. Thank you for making me mess up my speech, by the way, Chase, because we all know that's contagious.
No problem, I got you.
Utilize unique skills and abilities for each character, moving in stealth to steal treasure unseen, or dominating throughout loud and brutal combat. Blood will be spilled, riches will be stolen, legends will be reborn. It's a PvPvE multiplayer heist. Experience violent medieval combat, so it's like old school crossbows, stuff like that. No guns, by what I can tell. Also, sword play will also be involved.
You said sword play.
Your main thing is to steal treasure. I don't know if split the loot reward from getting the treasure.
Basically, how I described it, because this was the first time that I heard about it before we started the podcast, I basically said it's cops and robbers. Because it's 2 teams of 4, try to rob the objective while I'm guessing the NPCs try to stop you.
The NPCs are the ones who are stopping everyone. But cops and robbers would be more like one team playing as cops and one team playing as robber. Essentially, you're playing as robber.
Yeah, you're playing robber.
But it's just
about right.
Yeah, both your teams are trying to steal stuff, which I think will be cool, especially if they do like private matches where you're able to invite multiple friends. Then you could have like 4v4 against your friends.
That'd be cool.
It's like, I think my team's better than your team, and they're like, put money on it. Okay.
Bet.
I don't think you know how much I play. Less. I don't think you know how much I play.
I don't know. But this is definitely a game I'm looking into, though. Seems fun.
It's a game I'm definitely going to test out. Because the concept seems interesting to me, but also there is an update for Sea of Thieves that Shark could talk about here, because
he's big into Sea of Thieves. So go ahead, Shark, take it away.
Oh goodness, I was
he's
not
Sea
ready
of Thieves,
for this.
daddy.
So basically, they have a new update that just came out today. There's basically new cosmetics and everything. It's not really
spooky update.
There's a new story and everything. Go around. You got to collect the light on your journey, which will bring out the skeletons and everything, because they're all pirates, of course. They will come out, and you will get the pirate legend come out again, and just like you would see whenever I'm forgetting what mission it was called. You probably know. I think it was Ashton Winds. Whenever the
Flameheart.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, he comes out again. It's another one of him comes out. You'll get ritual skulls. You'll get all your other normal things. The more you collect, the more.
When does it end, by the way?
It came out today. The update was today as of, I would say 2 p.m. Eastern time. I think it's whatever update came out. Yeah, Chase, have you updated?
No.
Huh.
You gotta go update, man.
Yeah, no.
Ironic.
So we're playing Sea of Thieves and I got it.
Look at
but
that
when does it end?
It looks like he's got disappointment like so hard in his lips. That looks like the smile that my grandma would give me if I stole like a cookie off the shelf without asking.
Mm-hmm.
So when does it end, Shark?
I don't think they've announced the
I'm gonna guess sometime in November.
They might go into like a Thanksgiving thing.
They normally go like they do one big update a month. So I would say till it'll actually, with this one coming out now, it'll probably be right after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might do like an early one and then just make it so that you can get like a turkey as a pet.
Please.
Probably.
I'll buy it.
Well, so all the animals now with this new update are now all boned animals. So you have a bone parrot, a bone dog, cat, and monkey. So yeah.
Monkey. Moving on for that, kind of the last topic I think that we have. I don't know if Panda has anything else, but Monster Hunter has 2 new games coming out on Switch only. What does this mean for Monster Hunter World for console players?
Monster Hunter Rise, and then there's another one, I can't remember the name for it at the moment, but it's a second version of another game that they released. And both are for the Switch. I didn't see anything about PC or any other console on there. I even scrolled through to see if they were doing anything specific for PlayStation or Xbox or PC. Nothing popped up for it. So right now it kind of looks like Nintendo might be taking the forefront here
over
with that, instead of allowing PlayStation or Xbox to get their hands on something that people are actually big fans of.
Well, Monster Hunter World came out with Iceborne a couple months ago, maybe a year ago now, but I'm not sure. I think that was their last big update for that game. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but Monster Hunter World on consoles is still thriving. So I wonder if they're going to keep on updating or come out with another expansion or what have you, also while working on the 2 games for the Switch. It is a Switch game, so it's not going to be as big or not big in as in work time compared to a console game.
The actual game itself looked really well done, like graphic-wise for a Nintendo game. It looked like a more realistic Zelda,
which is going to be awesome. I don't know.
And
I might have to pick up Switch.
A lot of people. I actually thought about doing that anyway. That way I could trade Pokemon with Shark.
You just want a Gengar, you bitch.
I already have a Gengar and it's level 100 on my uncle's, so.
Joke on you.
I have the starter water Pokemon who is also level 100. I power leveled the fuck out of him. And I just ran everyone.
Oh yeah, speaking of Pokemon, new expansion just came out for them.
I was like, this motherfucker has a Charizard? Yeah. Water.
Yeah, new Pokemon expansion. The what's it called, Shark? Types of birds. Unova bird, Galarian
birds.
Yeah, the new Galarian birds.
So the Zapdos, Articuno, and all of them are going to be releasing with their Galarian form. They look toonish, I guess is the word I'm thinking of.
I don't know, what's the fire one called? Moltres. Yeah, I saw the Galarian Moltres. People trying to catch him. You just see him running. He looks like a fucking ostrich.
Yeah, that's what they all look like.
It's look fucking like adorable, dude. But I honestly think that kind of sums up this week. This week wasn't like huge on anything major happening NFL-wise.
I think Timmy wants an MMO Yu-Gi-Oh game.
That'd be dope, actually.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I honestly think
Yu-Gi-Oh go.
I think an MMO Yu-Gi-Oh and an MMO Pokemon for all consoles would make them a shit ton of money.
MMOs, Digimon. Possible MMO RPG.
No, it's not. It's
not.
All right, you just ruined it.
I know.
No, the way that the game looked, I was like, it could be, based off of like their intro video, and then I saw the gameplay for it. It was like a turn-based movement, so it kind of looked like Hearthstone in a way.
Okay.
Well, that's once they actually got the video, but I feel like if Nintendo was like, we'll give you guys some rights to Pokemon here, as long as you give us a majority of the payment. PlayStation or Sony and Xbox would both agree to that shit because Pokemon is so big.
Oh yeah.
That they would get so much money from it.
It doesn't matter like what PlayStation and Xbox would have to give up if they could get a share of Pokemon. They would do it. It doesn't matter.
But Sony would be like, "We'll give you part of God of War."
but Yu-Gi-Oh fan bases, there's still a big fan base.
Oh, there's a very big fan base of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of.
I mean, if
if
they ever create another game of Yu-Gi-Oh, I want it.
Duel Links, Timmy, you can get it on PC.
I actually didn't really care for it. But I feel like the MMO would just completely annihilate every other game that would be out at that point in time. I don't even give a shit if Call of Duty came out at the exact same time they did that. Everyone would be like, I'm getting Pokemon first. I'm getting Yu-Gi-Oh first. And then they'd be like, well, shit, we got fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, guys, I think that's about it. That about wraps up episode 3 of the Vanguard Nightly News. If you guys have any comments or any suggestions for the next Nightly News, make sure you guys post them down in the comments below. Make sure you guys like, hit that bell, and subscribe, man, so then you guys get all the newest content right away. And we'll see you guys all next week for another episode of Vanguard Nightly News. Peace.
See y'all next week. Bye.